So I found these coconut coir bricks at Dollar Tree, and I want to see how these $1.25 coconut coir bricks compare to the other brands that I've used. So this is a natural and organic expanding soil alternatives, like it says, and it's made up of 100% coconut and natural wood fibers. Personally, I love coconut coir for its water absorption. It does not go hydrophobic like peat moss does, which is why coconut coir will always be my number one preference. So to activate this brick, so it'll loosen up and expand, just pour 1 liter of water onto it in a bucket or container, whatever you use, and wait a few minutes. Now, as you watch this expand, I want to tell you about the other brands that I've used. So the Burpee Seed Starting Coconut Coir Brick is actually my number one favorite. It's 100% coconut coir. I don't believe there was anything else added to it. It was just 100% coconut coir, and I absolutely loved it. I found it at Walmart like 2 years ago for about $2.50 or $2.97 or something like that. I haven't seen it at Walmart since, and apparently Home Depot sells the Burpee Seed Starting Coconut Coir Brick too. I have yet to see it. I went looking for it. I haven't seen it. They sell it for $3.97. I don't see it. But the last time I went looking for the Burpee brick, couldn't find it. So I ended up getting the Vigoro coconut coir. And I don't think they sell that anymore either. But I ended up getting a bag. This was about a year ago. And no, just no. So it's not in brick form. It's loose and it comes in a bag. And at first I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. It's fine. I still have some left. Here it is. And when I poured it all out into this container, I saw that it came with a lot of pieces of wood. No, I just wanted 100% coconut coir. Like these aren't coconut husks or anything like this. These are pieces of wood. And not only that, it came with springtails. Beneficial or not, I do not want springtails in my mix. I don't care. Like I don't want them. So yeah, those were some deal breakers for me. Obviously this mix is all dried out, so I don't have to deal with the springtails anymore. I do occasionally pick out the pieces of wood, but it's my least favorite, and I don't think they sell it anymore, so it is what it is. So those are my experiences with two different brands, and the Burpee is my favorite because I didn't have to deal with any of that I dealt with the Vigoro. Now back to this Dollar Tree brick. It's fully expanded and it soaked up the entire liter of water. Now my first impression, it's not bad, you know. I really honestly, I really wish that it didn't have the wood fibers in it. Like, I don't know, something, I just don't like it, you know. That's just my personal preference. But it does have this like subtle woody smell, like it kind of has like this subtle new wooden furniture, like if you know what I mean. Like if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. So again, I love coconut coir for its water absorption and retention. Like this is the number one reason why I will always choose it over peat moss. But the downside of using coconut coir is that it can have a high salt content, which will negatively affect your plants. It can cause brown leaf tips and actually lead to plant death. And can cause your seedlings to die if you're using this for a seed starting mix. Now to combat this, some people actually rinse their coconut coir before using, so that's something to keep in mind. So typically wood fibers are used for aeration and water retention, I believe, and a downside of that is that it will eventually decompose. If you're using this for houseplants, you'll lose that aeration. Outside, you know, for outdoor plants and things like that, you may be okay, but for indoor plants, that's not that great. That's not good. And I've also read that the wood fibers can actually alter the pH levels of your potting mix. And I've also read that wood fibers can also rob your plants of nitrogen. Now, with soilless mediums like peat moss and coconut coir, you actually have to supplement the nutrients for your potting mix, okay? Because these things lack nutrients. They have very little to no nutrients, so that's something that you have to supplement yourself, provide yourself. Is it worth it? Is this $1.25 coconut coir brick from Dollar Tree worth it? Price wise, I believe that it is, based on what I've bought in the past. Like if you buy 3 of these $1.25 bricks, that's actually 9 quarts for $3.75, whereas like 8 quarts would be $3.97 to $4.98. So, and that's compared to other 8-quart bricks or bags and stuff like that. So now, based on my first impression, is it worth it? Um, it's number 2 on my list based on just first impressions. It's number 2 on my list, so it's fine in that regard. But I haven't used it yet. Okay, I haven't used it. I haven't grown in it. Remember, this is my first impression. Like I'm opening this for the first time, so I cannot speak on that right now. Um, but what I can say is that this can be used for indoor and outdoor plants, worm bedding, things like that. But I would advise you, if you're feeling iffy, to, especially about what I said about the salt content, rinse it. Make sure you rinse it before you use it, and also amend it. If you're using peat moss, coconut coir, whatever it is, amend it with perlite, compost if you need to, just whatever you have, amend it. I would not use it just as is, but that's just me. If you do that, let me know how that works for you. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. So if you use this coconut coir brick from Dollar Tree, please let me know in the comments, and then watch this video next and let me know if you use this potting soil mix from Dollar Tree too, and I want to hear your thoughts about it. Thank you for watching.